Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
John Deaton is pretty excited for what just came out. Well, let's take a little bit of a look, huh? So John Deaton posted this on his Crypto Law Twitter, just added to our documents library. Order by Judge Torres, granting in part and denying in part motions by defendants Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson to seal some exhibits to previous motions, and more. Torres will unseal an email to Larson and legal memos to Ripple, finding arguments to seal unjustified but granted redactions to Garlinghouse to protect potentially sensitive information in 3 documents. She also ordered public release of documents filed by both sides under seal, anticipating motions to seal from other side that never came. Lastly, Judge Torres will allow Ripple a surreply to the SEC's memorandum of law in support of motion to strike the fair notice defense. The last part is really not so significant because I already anticipated that. Now guys, let's make a couple things clear. 1, these videos are not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. 2, these videos are not legal advice in any way, shape, or form. I am not a lawyer, so I try to do my best to interpret these things, but I'm still just not a lawyer, alright? So, and 3, if you haven't pressed that like button yet, make sure you press that button if you enjoy what we post on the channel. A couple of you guys were posting, hey, change the titles, so I look into that instantly, changing the titles. A couple of you guys were saying, hey, change this about the thumbnail, I look into it. So please guys, keep giving me feedback in the comment section down below as well, as I always appreciate that. But for right now, just put down below if you think Ripple will win or lose the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. And with winning, I basically mean XRP turning out not to be a security for the future. So, what is going on here? 2 things we'll cover. All right, let's quickly open this up on the side here while we quickly go over it. The first thing is about the last part and why I said it's not so important. So, a surreply to the memorandum of law in support for the motion to strike. As far as I know, the SEC recently posted a document where they basically said, hey, take a look at this case. We think that because this case had a specific situation going on with the fair notice defense, that in the Ripple v. SEC case here, again, that was another SEC versus another company case, we should also basically get this fair notice defense thrown out the window. But Ripple, I guess Ripple and a lot of other guys in Twitter were arguing, saying, doesn't make a lot of sense because it's in a completely different stage and whatnot. And now I believe the surreplies to, again, just kind of come back on that yet again, but it might actually be an older memorandum of law, like the previous one or so, because otherwise I'm not exactly sure why this would be the case. Then again, it's not the bigger game changer, I think. My stupid ass actually just got rid of the tweet here. Let's go back and let's find John Deaton in here if we can. Because I'm a little bit, Alright, let's just go look up John Deaton, I guess, because I accidentally clicked him away for some strange reason. John E. There we go, we find John Deaton. He was pretty excited over on Twitter, which prompted me to make this video here real quick. Let's quickly see if we can find exactly where he started going ecstatic a little bit over on Twitter, right here. The most important point here is that we have a judge that favors public disclosure and transparency. As an XRP holder, how could you not celebrate and welcome that? Again, this is one of the decisions that Judge Torres, instead of the other judge made, Netburn. How could you not celebrate and welcome that? I can think of a specific government agency that isn't big on transparency. Let's take a look. Judge Torres' rulings are a great sign for XRP holders, and this is lawyer John Deaton, who's also involved in the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. Let's make another thing clear, guys. Jeremy Hogan is not inside the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. If there's anybody, it's John Deaton. He's not a lawyer for Ripple, not a lawyer for the SEC. He's basically the lawyer for the XRP community, which is kind of strange, but that's the way it is. What these rulings clearly show is that Judge Torres, we'll go once more, there's 2 different judges in a case like this. There's one judge which basically decides over all the different small parts, and there's another judge which rules over the bigger issues later down the line. This is only something I read about, I think, a couple months ago, that, because I never really understood why there's two judges. But apparently it's because if one judge would do everything, it would be too overwhelming. So one judge does all the daily stuff for a long period of time, and the other judge kind of objectively looks at everything that went through and then makes some more important verdicts, basically. Now, that's also why sometimes two different judges are addressed, because they basically rule over different parts. If I'm wrong on any of this stuff, guys, make sure you put it in the comment section down below, as I'm just repeating what I've read, but I could have been given false information or made false interpretations of certain informational pieces that I found. Now, what these really clearly shows that Judge Torres favors public disclosure. Ripple can't seal certain documents, i.e. legal briefs. Same applies to the SEC. Think ahead. We may ultimately get to see the 63 Hinman emails, as again, what this hiding, or in easier terms, sealing, same thing basically, means is just the public can't get to see it. Or in some other cases, it can't be used for this or that or this or that. Now, the reason it's so bullish to see a judge say that is because our previous judge was actually pretty easy on the seals, which was like, okay, we'll never get to see it, the public will never get to see it. This judge is like, oh no, it's rather relevant, so get the public in on it. And the reason it's good for us is because, well, if this judge is also for public disclosures, wanting to have things on out there, that might also be something that she's going to consider once we're talking about all those emails and further issues that the SEC is withholding down this line. Because you got to remember, guys, we're looking for a couple of parts from Ripple's side, mostly regarding what exactly they, for example, spent the XP on, how much exactly they've actually sold and whatnot. But there's a couple of numbers that would be interested in just looking at, which are not right now sealed, some of them. But I think if we're doing the comparison, I have at least 8 times as much interest in the SEC's hidden sealed away documents in comparison to that of Ripple. And I do believe, honestly, that with a judge like this, if she's so basically already finding this narrative already this early in, basically, that we can have some very, very juicy times coming up ahead. So once more, this is just for disclosure purposes, which ultimately might break down the SEC. So let's quickly check it out here. So John Deans had just added to our library, and Jeremy Hogan replied, "There's only one major takeaway from this order in the Ripple v. SEC case. Judge Torres is getting ready to take over. The next couple of months will be very interesting with all the major rulings that are being teed up." And again, I'm not 1,000% sure if Judge Torres is also the one who's going to rule on the more important issues. I believe so, though. So what I'm believing is that Judge Nedburn decided all the smaller things before, and that Judge Torres is going to pick up the bigger issues, again, that are basically occurring right now. So when he's talking about these next couple of months, we're talking mostly about this newer judge as well coming in. And again, it might be so that this judge has been there all along, because I believe that's been the case. But they decide on different parts, basically. Now, a person asked, let's say everything goes badly for Ripple. DPP decision gets reversed, which is deliberative process, which is basically SEC withholding information. And, SEC withholding information. Some of you guys said, talk slow, don't do the blah, blah, blah. And the SEC and the SEC motion to strike the fair notice defense is granted. Couldn't Ripple still win a trial if the jury concludes XRP was never a security? So Jeremy Hogan replied saying, absolutely. I actually think Ripple has a better chance on the XRP is not a security argument than on the fair notice defense. The fair notice defense, by the way, is I don't know exactly what it's called anymore, defense, which basically means if it comes true that the defense is valid, basically, then most likely Ripple wins on that front alone, basically. I don't know, Ripple has like 7 or 9 of those, where they basically, if that defense holds up, then it means they've won. And the fair notice defense is one of them. It can be overthrown in the sense that the judge might look and say, I don't think your fair notice defense is valid, which is, again, reasonable. We can't really say yes or no on the fair notice because we can think for both sides. I mean, from one perspective, you might say the fair notice defense is really valid because, well, Ripple wasn't given the proper fair notice at one point or another. Another might just say, well, but they did warn you a couple of times. They did give indications that you should have interpreted it. Now, whether or not that's actually the truth is for the judge to determine, and we can't really say, right? Because the judge has to determine this. If she comes and concludes, well, indeed, you couldn't have really known because the SEC was too vague or this or that. And as of this point, guys, we still have to believe in the U.S. justice system in that sense in regards to this case. Because else, what are you going to do? Another person, Jens, asked, is that why the SIR reply is due so quickly? Can we expect a ruling from her soon after? Jeremy said yes. She did not give much time for the SIR reply. Makes me think she is going to move quick. At least you guys got can help. I kind of agree with that. I'm kind of on the same note right here. Jeremy, could you help me understand this, please? I'm confused. Brad, KLM were judicial, but she granted redactions. Then in the final overview, the judge grants motion to seal those documents. Am I reading that wrong? And he said she found that even though they were judicial, some specific documents, for other reasons she was going to leave them sealed. Sorry for the caps, there's no bold on Twitter. Okay. I'm just going through this because this is something that a lot of you guys might be asking in the comment section. I don't know, right? He's a lawyer. Why would she be taken over? Not happy with current movement? The discovery phase is over, and that was Judge Netburn. Torres is the judge. Netburn was the magistrate or assistant judge who handles only discovery issues. Again, we've gone to phase 2, so to speak. Somebody asked, hey, lawyer, is this good or bad? Give me the straight facts, give me it quickly. Jeremy says it's good because we're moving into the second phase of the case where things are going to happen. And I guess that's all the juice for right now in regards to this update, right? I think that's all the most important juice. So again, right now we've gone into phase 2 of the lawsuit. I'm hoping, honestly, that things are going to start ramping up from here. I want to quickly actually take a look at James Fillon here to quickly see what he has posted over on Twitter. For some reason, I didn't get a notification. I do think he did post it, but I just didn't get a notification for some reason. And I also want to take a look at this. So because again, I got to remember, the completion for expert discovery was officially February 28th. So I believe it's Judge Netburn, and then Alicia Torres. What was Netburn? I remember Magistrate Judge Netburn, but I don't remember her first name. It doesn't really matter, actually, at all. I believe then she's still going to be here for a couple more weeks until there's discovery fixed, right? And all the issues regarding that fixed. But the major decisions are going to be by Judge Torres. The court denies Ripple's request to seal legal memos provided to Chris Larson in briefing associated with those memos, and grants Ripple's request to file surreply to the SEC's motion to strike defendant's defense. Yes. On June 7, 2021, Ripple filed the motion to submit a surreply regarding the SEC's motion to strike and attach the proposed surreply. Below is the original motion and the proposed surreply. Thanks to Freddie Riz for the reminder. We can look at that, but I don't really care, nor do I think it's important, because we'll have to see what comes out, and we're not lawyer-y enough to actually figure out exactly what that means, so we're just going to skip that for right now. You can check it, however, over on Twitter. I'm going to retweet that quickly for you guys, so you can also find it over on my Twitter. Surreply is due February 9th, 2022, so that's pretty quickly. Proposed redactions to the documents the Ripple defendant initially requested to seal are due February 17th. Alright. One thing we'd have to do is make sure that my notification settings are proper, because it's only been 3 hours, so I'm not, completely screwed, but I was literally waiting and reading for the last couple of hours when I could have definitely posted this about an hour or two earlier. So that's definitely on my bad. Then again, I'm being a little bit harsh on myself because, honestly, I'm here within 3 hours of this update coming out with a video. A lot of guys will take another half a day or so to do that, so I'm still proud of myself, I guess, for that. Hopefully you did catch yourself on the good side today. If you're on the good side of the bed and you woke up on that regard, make sure you press that like button. Not sure if you guys can see it, actually. It's pretty dark outside here. I'm not sure if you guys can see or not. I actually hope that I'm on the proper screen right now, that things turned back around. Yeah, okay, it did. I just quickly had to check right there. We're looking good in terms of our lawsuit update. I think most things are actually looking pretty damn juicy right now. In regards to what updates are coming out, well, we got a couple of decisions coming up. Let me quickly take a little bit of a gander here. You guys can't see, but the most closest one coming up is the deadline for the SEC to file any motion for reconsideration of Magistrate Judge Netburn's limited process privilege opinion order. So that was again about the reconsideration, right? Then Ripple can 1 week later respond to that, or about 8 days later to be exact, February 25th.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.